Hey, my name is Simon Hill. Welcome to my channel. This is another episode of Marmaris Meditations. I'm here outside my mother-in-law's house here in beautiful Marmaris, standing by the pool. It's early in the morning. I just got finished working, and I have something on my mind that I don't really have the answer to. Now, this question came from my wife, who actually is Turkish, but she and I talk a lot about black issues, black freedom, the ending of white supremacy, and that sort of thing. And we were having a discussion about something, I forgot exactly, but she brought up a good point or a good question that I still don't have the answer to. Should African countries that were colonized by European powers, and all of them are included except maybe Libya and Ethiopia, and Liberia, maybe, should all African nations that were colonized by European powers get reparations? Now, I'll say my opinion about reparations, at least for African Americans. Of course, without a doubt, 100% I support reparations for African Americans and all black people, honestly. Now, I know some people in the ADOS community think only the American descendants of slaves should get reparations from the US government for how we were treated. But I'm of the opinion that all black people, as soon as you come to the US, you're treated with the royal nigger treatment. You'll get that nigger wake up call as soon as you make it to the US. And that includes the Nigerians, the Jamaicans, the Ghanaians, Belizeans, doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are. For example, I'll make this point if this isn't clear. Nigerian Americans are the most educated American immigrant group in the US, period. This is a statistical fact. Many Nigerians are doctors, for example. Nigerian doctors, even though they have more qualifications than their white counterparts or other counterparts from different ethnic groups, such as Indian Americans who are doctors, still make substantially less than other doctors, right? So that shows without a doubt just that one statistic and many other things. For example, we all saw what happened to Patrick Leola when he was shot. He was a Congolese immigrant who came to the US and he got his nigger wake up call by getting shot by the police and killed. Oh, all black people in the US suffer from the treatment of white supremacy because the US has white supremacy in its DNA. Period, period, period. So all black people in the US deserve some form of reparations. But anyway, when we talk about African nations, right? Colonialism was horrible, and neocolonialism is still horrible. Many African nations have their resources exploited by these European powers to this day, right? The gold, the diamonds, the rare earth minerals are extracted from these countries, and they never see wealth or benefit from it, economic benefit. So, on one hand, I do understand how African nations now today would probably be deserving of reparations. But on the other hand, these countries are run by people who are either elected or take power. And these people come from Africa. Like these people are African leaders, right? And I have a friend, his name is Josh, he's from Ghana, and he spoke to me on WhatsApp after I made the video about the 27 black Africans who were killed trying to go north out of Morocco into Spain. And he had an interesting point. He said that the blame really is on African leaders who allow poverty and crime to run rampant in these countries, right? And the people who are immigrating are trying to seek a better life because the African leaders are not making life sustainable or better for them in their countries. So therefore, the blame can't always be put on the white supremacist governments or the neo-fascist policies of Fortress Europe and the EU with their restrictive visa policies and that sort of thing. The problem really is on African leaders. And so the poverty that we see today, the exploitative nature of these contracts that African nations have with foreign companies that allow the resources to be taken out of Africa, should the blame really be put on, you know, on the colonial masters? Because, Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal from Britain and basically took it back for Egypt. And yeah, the British weren't mad and they literally tried to invade Egypt, but he took it back for Egypt, and the Suez Canal is still owned by the Egyptians today. And many other examples of African leaders taking back control of their countries and trying to make life better for their people. Now, whether that's successful or not is debatable, but should African leaders take a bigger role in trying to create a better, sustainable life, economic life, social life for their people? Or should the blame or uh, part of the blame still be placed on the colonial masters who set up these countries to be unsustainable, who exploit the countries still to this day? Should those countries, such as France, Britain, Spain, Portugal, should those be the ones who pay reparations? I'm not sure if Namibia got reparations for the genocide that happened there by the German colonial masters, but that's one that I can support. But should Nigeria ask for reparations from Britain? Should Chad ask for reparations from France? I don't know. That's a question to really consider because, yes, the colonial countries, took over these places and ruined these places and made them hard to sustain. But when does it stop? When does it stop? I think this is different than us African Americans talking about it because we're still living under terrible conditions, the yoke of oppression and white supremacy. But when does it stop? When does it stop? I don't know. So as of right now, I'm absolutely unsure if African nations should get reparations from their colonial masters because so much responsibility should be on the African leaders today. I'm not, I'm of African descent. I identify as a Black American, whatever. I'm not getting into that. What I'm saying is African leaders control the countries and they have more power to make life better for them. If they weren't corrupt, if they weren't, uh, taking their money and putting it in London banks, if they weren't just trying to enrich themselves, maybe they could make life better for their citizens. But I'm not sure. I don't know. This is a marmaris meditation. This is where I ask a question that I don't really know the answer to. It's just something to think about and mull over as I continue on my journey of life. And if you don't like anything I have to say, thank you for increasing the engagement. Thank you for watching all this way. Thank you for leaving your hateful comment. Thank you for leaving the dislike. The algorithm really loves it. My channel is going up. The subscribers are going up. Thank you for everybody who's been watching. My name is Simon Hill. Peace in the truest sense. Will the meek inherit the earth?